There is a specific kind of loneliness that only a high-level observer truly understands. A feeling of standing in the center of a crowded room while remaining completely invisible behind a wall of your own thoughts. While everyone else is lost in the rhythm of the moment, your brain is busy scanning the environment like an ultra-fine filter, logging every forced smile, every avoided glance, and every layer of hidden energy that others simply walk right past. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are decoding the architecture of the observer, the person who prefers watching life from the sidelines rather than joining the dance. We are going to explore why your brain chose this protective shield, and more importantly, how you can step out from behind the glass without losing your edge. To understand why you prefer to watch, we first have to look at the high-speed processing unit inside your head. In neuroscience, this is often driven by an overactive default mode network, or DMN, which is the system responsible for self-reflection and predicting the future. In most people, this system shuts down when they engage with the world, but for the observer, the DMN stays online, running a 24/7 data collection machine. You aren't just thinking, you are thin slicing, a process where your subconscious automatically watches the velvet curtain behind the stage of human interaction. You notice the actor's nervous sweat and the broken props that everyone else takes for granted. This creates a radar system that is exceptionally sensitive to nonverbal cues, making it nearly impossible to just relax and join in. But why did your brain develop such a powerful radar in the first place?
For many observers, this wasn't a choice, it was a survival inheritance. If you grew up in an environment where moods shifted like the weather or where outcomes were unpredictable, your nervous system learned a logical strategy: anticipate everything. You became a radar station child, learning to measure the anger in a slammed cabinet or the sobriety in the sound of car tires on the driveway. Your brain built a network of neurons to help you predict emotional disasters before they happened. As an adult, this survival vigilance has transformed into your identity. You watch because watching feels like safety. If you can see the landing point of disappointment ahead of time, you believe you won't collapse when it arrives. This leads us to a phenomenon called the provisional life. When you stay in observer mode, you are essentially living as a spectator in the stands of your own life. You watch others work, fail, and get married, while your ego quietly convinces you that you are above the rat race because you haven't committed to a path yet. This is a psychological shield. As long as you remain an observer, your potential remains perfect. You don't have to face the harsh rules of reality, the bills, the competition, and the risk of being ordinary. By staying on the sidelines, you protect the illusion of your own ability, because a dream that is never tested can never fail. However, this clarity comes with a brutal price tag: emotional exhaustion. Constant observation isn't just mentally draining, it's physically taxing. Your brain is like a Ferrari with its foot stuck on the gas while the car is in neutral. The engine is roaring and burning through fuel, but you aren't moving forward an inch. You absorb the emotional waste of everyone around you through hyperactive mirror neurons, feeling the weight of a coworker's irritation or a friend's hidden pain as if it were your own. You see the masks people wear to hide their wounds, and while that gives you deep empathy, it also makes you feel like a glass wall. You see through everyone, but when they look at you, they only see their own reflection. So how do you break the cycle of analysis paralysis and start participating in the world again? The first step is a technique called cognitive diffusion. Imagine your analytical thoughts as a pair of virtual reality goggles pressed against your face. When you wear them, you believe the disaster playing inside, the prediction of a friend's betrayal or a boss's anger, is your real life. Diffusion is the act of taking those goggles off and saying, I am having the thought that this person is being fake, rather than this person is fake. This small shift moves activity away from your amygdala, the center of panic, and back to your prefrontal cortex, the center of logic. The second strategy is the art of strategic ignorance. You must learn to separate truth from responsibility. Just because you see a coworker sucking up to the boss doesn't mean it's your job to expose them. Treat these observations like clouds passing across the sky. You can see they are gray, but you don't need to fly up and push them away. You must allow yourself to be intentionally blind sometimes so your mind can rest. Realize that most people wear masks not to deceive you, but to hide their own insecurity and fear of not being loved. Finally, you must practice grounding to pull your mind out of the future and drop it back into the present. When the internal chatter becomes too loud, use the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Find 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, and 3 you can hear. Your brain's DMN cannot focus on strong physical signals and imaginary conversations at the same time. By forcing yourself to feel the texture of your clothes or the coldness of water on your face, you send a biological message to your nervous system. The environment is safe. You don't need to stay on guard.
Being an observer is not a personality flaw. It is proof of a mind with incredibly high processing power. You have a gift for depth that the world desperately needs, but that gift is only valuable if you aren't imprisoned by it. Your challenge isn't to stop being sharp or sensitive. It's to learn how to be a patient guide for your own brain. You deserve to experience the world, not just analyze it. If you've spent your life watching from the shadows, feeling like you're the only one who sees the truth, know that you aren't alone on this journey. The depth you carry is waiting for your own compassion. If this insight helped you feel a little lighter today, hit like and share this with the watchers in your life who are tired of the noise in their own heads. Don't forget to subscribe so we can keep exploring the hidden corners of the mind together. Stop watching the clock, start living the hours, and I'll see you in the next video.